Welcome back, everybody. I am Peter Nelson, and this is Gemology for Schmucks, where I'll be telling you everything you need to know about gemstones. Today, we're going to be talking about the third most important factor in a gemstone's price, and that is carat weight. That's carat with a C, not carat with a K. What's the difference? So carat with a C is a measure of weight, and carat with a K is for gold purity, and that's actually used all over the world now. So 24 karat gold is 100% pure gold, or at least 9999 repeating. And 18 karat gold is one of the more common gold alloys used in jewelry. Even the Chinese, who have a long history with gold, now use K for gold purity. You'll hear them say things like 18 K jin, which is just 18, K for carat, and jin, it's gold. Easy enough. So moving on, carat with a C is a measure of weight, as I said previously. And where does it come from? Well, as with everything else, it comes from the Greeks. And so carat comes from the Greek word keration, which actually means the carob seed. So it's basically a bean that grows on a tree. And back in the day when they were still using those hand scales that needed a counterweight, these seeds were such a uniform weight they could use them as a counterweight for things like gold and precious stones. So that's where we get the name carat. These days it's been standardized to 1/5 of a gram. That is to say 0.2 grams. Or you could say that there's 5 carats in 1 gram. So how do we measure carats? These days we don't use the hand scale anymore with the carob seeds. We use a digital scale. So let me show you how that works. Come on over here. So why do we care about carat weight? Is it just like, the rate that you buy potatoes at? Everything is just this much a kilo, that much a kilo, then you chop them up and you make your favorite stew? No, it's not like that at all. I mean, it essentially is. So why does carat weight matter? There's two aspects that we need to keep in mind. The first one is the rate that the stone is being priced at. Most of the time you're looking at a stone and they'll say that it is such and such a price per carat. So if you've got a 3.49 carat stone, you know you need to multiply that rate by the carat weight. So 3 carats and 49 points, 3.49. There's 100 points in a carat. So you multiply that rate by the carat and boom, you've got your price. So the second reason that it's important is because as you get to larger and larger carat sizes, it's less and less common in nature for stones to have naturally occurring high clarity, great color. And so as you get to those larger carat sizes, you have to be aware that the rarity factor is really going to influence the price of the stone. The fact of the matter is that the earth is not a factory. It's not a case of, I want this, therefore I just go looking for it and I will find it someday. Some of these things just don't exist. Think about going to the beach. You're looking around for seashells on the shore and you've got in your mind what you want and you find this amazing shell and you're like, this is awesome. I wonder if I can find one that's a lot like this, maybe the same species of creature and it left its shell on the beach, but I could get a bigger size, maybe with some sharper points. Maybe you find it, maybe you don't. Maybe it's out there, maybe it's not. Maybe that snail or conch hasn't been born yet. Who knows? It's the same with gemstones. There are things that you have in mind, things that you gain a desire for that just may not exist yet. Or if it does exist, it is so rare, and other people also want it, that the fight over the price makes it explode. Now, carat weight. How does carat weight affect the price of a stone? There was a 17th century gem merchant named Jean-Baptiste Tavernier who was traveling around India at that time. He was looking for mostly diamonds at the moment for the French nobility. And what he found was something that we now call Tavernier's law, or Indian law. And that is basically that the price of a stone explodes as the stone gets bigger and bigger. Now, why is that? If you're talking about a 1 carat stone, and you want to buy a 2 carat stone, you don't just take the price of a 1 carat stone and multiply it by 2. You've got 1 carat and 1 carat, that makes 2 carats, right? No, it makes 2 1 carat stones. If you want one stone that has that bigger size and the same quality, then you're talking about something that's rarer in nature. And so the price is not double. No, Tavernier's law basically says that for the price of a 1,000 diamond in 1 carat, and you have a 2 carat stone, you're going to take 2, square it, it's 4, and multiply that by the price of the 1 carat diamond, which is $1,000. So you've got $4,000 for a 2 carat stone. Same thing, if you go to a 3 carat stone, you take 3, you square that, that's 9. This is 9 in Chinese, by the way. They can count on one hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're welcome. Culturally enriched. Anyhow, so instead of being a 3 carat stone, $1,000 times 3 carats, you have to multiply it by 9, according to Tavernier's law. Now, these days it's more of a rule of thumb. We don't do things this way anymore. We instead have something called magic numbers. Magic numbers are basically a balance point between what exists commonly in nature and what we've been able to get a hold of in the market, and then what people want. So for example, if you're talking about a diamond for an engagement ring, what is the size that the average person wants? The average person wants more than 1 carat. So if it's 0.98 carats, that's 98 points, then that's not a carat. It's not going to have quite the same price as the stone that has gone just above the 1 carat line. That's the idea of a magic number. There are other magic numbers, maybe at 3 carats, 5 carats, 9 carats, and beyond, but it depends on the gemstone. Different gemstones have different magic numbers, and that's based on what is out there. What can we get a hold of? Something like topaz, for example, you can get by the metric ton. It occurs frequently, and so magic numbers aren't so much of a thing. Stronger color, bigger sizes, or specialty cuts are going to drive the price more than a carat price that's at a magic number. So sapphires, rubies, these things that exist much less frequently in nature, especially with certain colors and certain clarities, these have magic numbers that you really have to pay attention to when you're shopping, especially if you look at rubies. So the most expensive stone to date sold in the world is called the Sunrise Ruby. It's a 25.59 carat stone that was sold in Sotheby's back in 2015, not that long ago. And this sold for a record-breaking $30.42 million US. That's a per carat price of $1.18 million US times 25.59, okay? So we're talking an incredibly expensive stone. Why is it so expensive? Because that color, that pigeon's blood red, which you may hear a whole lot, but this actual one is the definition of pigeon's blood. With that high level of clarity in a stone this big, finding that stone, having that stone exist in nature, and the people that have them aren't necessarily willing to sell them. And so simple economics, supply and demand. If it doesn't exist, or if it exists in a very small amount and people want it, then the price can blow your head off. So if you'd like to learn more about the Sunrise Ruby, then you can check the description. I've got a link to Gemrock Auctions where they have an article on it and a bunch of lovely pictures, and you can check those out. Basically, what I want you to take home about magic numbers is that with a magic number, when you go above that magic number, expect a price jump. It's normal. It's not just people out there to be greedy. And when you've got more people that want it, I'm sorry, economics is going to drive the price on that one. It's not a question of greed. It's a question of, if I hold on to this for a little bit longer, someone's going to come along that says, yeah, I'm willing to pay that price because it just doesn't exist. And I found it. So there you go. Happy hunting. All right, everybody, that's all we've got today on Gemology for Schmucks. Once again, my name is Peter Nelson. Thank you for watching. Quick review. The 2 things that we need to remember about carat weight are that carat is a unit of weight. There are 5 carats for every gram. And then magic numbers. Once you get to larger carat sizes, these don't exist as commonly in nature, so it's just a meeting point between what exists in nature and that we can get a hold of in the trade and what people want, and so that's going to drive the price. I hope that helps you in your search for gemstones, and as you go out and you're pricing out gemstones and getting an idea of what you really want and what is a best fit for you. So I'll see you next time.